Folks, Ned Lamont just promoted and endorsed U.S. Senator Murphy for President of the United States. Well, his connections to Venezuela are not mentioned in this video, which is extremely important, okay? This is extremely important. You need to watch it.
There's a dirty Venezuelan software package that lets you steal elections. It was called SAES, Smartmatic Automated Election System. They bought an American company called Sequoia, and they put it inside Sequoia, where it was called WINEDS. That's the only name you have to memorize.
WINEDS, Sequoia, and many of these other corporations are in the 2022 lawsuit in the federal court where 20 people were murdered, okay? So you need to listen at the cover-up of Judge Russell, Judge Reed, Judge Blowy, there's 25 judges, folks. Judge Meyer, I believe, was killed, because how do you get an aggressive cancer as aggressive as his was, okay? Well, I'm going to show you a very important line in this video when we get to it, okay?
WINEDS. That dirty package got shifted, and it's actually inside Dominion. They call their system Democracy Suite, but it's in
Democracy Suite. It's in Liberty Voting, used by Connecticut. Listen to these words. It's no ink. It's Diebold. The combination of these softwares are all mentioned in the 2022 lawsuit in Hartford, Connecticut. And all these people need to be arrested right now. They have all this evidence for 4 years.
Inside Dominion. They've been denying like hell that they have WINEDS. They're saying we don't use it. It's not inside our system. I'm going to prove to you that it is in their system. And then the problem is what's happened now is Liberty has come along, and actually Liberty is just a new name on Dominion. It's the same corporation. Next, let's go to an internal Dominion email, which I'm not supposed to show anyone. This is from
Eric Coomer is a defendant in the Connecticut case, okay? Eric Coomer, his name is about to come up.
2011. They're talking to a guy named Craig Short, contractor for Dominion. Is talking to Sherry Hadsky. You're going to see in a moment. She's the secretary with the Secretary of
20 Secretary of States are involved with this, including Connecticut, and that's why she abruptly resigned. She read the lawsuit. She resigned. Get ready.
State of Louisiana at the time. And this is all about the WINEDS upgrade. Now, remember, you're going to see Dominions come out and say, we don't have WINEDS. No, we never, that's all some junk from the past. But meanwhile, their internal emails, they're talking about upgrading their system. Go to the next page. This is, again, this is more Dominion voting, people talking to Sherry Hadsky. You can see in the bottom of this, Sherry Hadsky is the
Sherry Hadsky received the hack. Connecticut shared the source code 140 times, and that's why, after hacking every town inside Connecticut, then the hacks came out of Connecticut through Tyler Technologies, which is the Stamford, Connecticut Superior Court.
Secretary of State of Louisiana, .government. She's in that office. She says, hey, confidentially, if Democracy Suites runs on if this runs on Windows 7 and this WINEDS runs on Windows 2003, don't we need 2 servers? So she knew, and Dominion knew, that same thing that they were in fact still
2 servers, 2 different Windows platforms, so they could wash it in the middle and change the results. This is exactly what we explained to multiple secretaries of states. And guess what? They put a hit on me.
Using WINEDS. And the guy confirms, yes, that we're going to need 2 servers. Now we get to the really good stuff. We get to 2020. Let's go to the next page. This is an email from Eric Coomer in 2020. He's running the elections in Chicago. And noticing he's writing a guy, Goran Obradovic.
Goran is listed in the 2022 Hartford case using Serbia and Scott Bates. Scott Bates rigged elections in Serbia from Connecticut. Ben Proto rigged elections in the Virgin Islands from Connecticut. What's going on here? Both the Democrats and the Republicans are rigging elections in other countries. Okay? It's not a joke. They've had the evidence since 2022. Keep your hat on.
Obradovic, who's in Serbia, and he says this paragraph, when you read it, you're going to laugh. They're talking about setting up servers to process ballots as they come in. So there's a few days before the election. He says 30 minutes, 12,000.
We're sitting waiting for the votes to come in to convert them to something that's different on its way out. By running it through all these different SAES, Sequoia, WINEDS, all these different functions like the Diebold, in combination with Diebold, they can suppress the ballot image and erase it after they use it. They then destroy the cast vote record and the actual ballot. This is what Connecticut does. It takes your written statement, scans it, destroys the written version, and then the Diebold machine suppresses the ballot image when it's sent electronically to the second server, then to the first server. Where are the servers? Iran, Canada, Toronto. Where else? Hamburg, Germany. Their CIA is in Hamburg, Germany. Okay? You get it? It's a very, very select few high-end programming assholes ruining the world. And it's the Department of Homeland Security behind it. And that person, Chris Murphy, Senate Subcommittee Chair of the Department of Homeland Security, Open Borders Murphy, controls the illegal aliens being registered in Connecticut now. Okay? Stephanie Thomas was sued by the federal government. She didn't participate. Tong is protecting her. Tong put a hit on me. Yeah. Tried to get me medicated with Zyprexa to kill me. I'm diabetic. You can't give Zyprexa to a diabetic. These people are murderers, folks. These people are murderers. They stole the Elizabeth Harding murder evidence. They stole the attempted murder evidence of Corey Cooper Smith. Yes, they did. Who did? The marshals in the Stamford Superior Court and the Bridgeport Court and Waterbury and many other courts, actually. Continue with the video, please.
Ballots. We may have some timing problems. Not sure there's anything we can do other than our best. Look at this. We can set up the cartridges to load overnight as they come in scare quotes, and then
come in, yeah.
And then load into WIN.
He's even laughing like, as they come in. Oh, yeah.
Why is he doing that? Explain. Why is he putting?
Because you know what's love to brag.
Yeah, but why? As they come in. In other words, they're faking like we're good as the ballot.
We can load it and have it ready as they come in.
As they come in, meaning we're going to be uploading them, but pretending that these are ballots coming in from the field, but actually and we can then load them into the WINEDS. So here's Eric Coomer, the CTO of Dominion, acknowledging that WINEDS is being used in their system. What they really do is when they set up a Dominion server for some county, they set up next to it a second machine. That is the WINEDS machine. They don't even tell the counties, we have a server in here that's really running with this Smartmatic Venezuelan software. And they run the election on this machine. All this stuff gets in. And what they're not telling anyone is it goes from the Dominion machine to this EDS dirty machine and then gets reported into the election reporting system. So before the results go from the county to the legitimate election.
Edison research. Do you understand? Do I have to explain it?
Reporting system, they're run through this WINEDS dirty Venezuelan software where they and only they have access. They and only they even know it exists. They're not even telling the counties that they have.
That's what's come out with these companies is they claim they're taking photos of the ballots in live time, but they have a...
Connecticut doesn't have counties, folks. Not like Westchester County in New York. We don't have any autonomy with what's happening at UConn. And all the audits are falsified. All. Because they don't have certifiable software. So none of your elected officials are certified. They can't be. The software invalidates the outcome. It can't be. The memory cards are defective. They do a random memory card audit. 53 cards were collected. 37 were defective. Read the documents.
Another computer sliding a whole new one in.
And Coomer just admitted recently in a deposition like last week that there's a server before the results go from the server that runs the election to this county server that reports the election. It's going through another server that nobody knows about and only he has access to. So the results go in and we just have to trust them not to do anything they want to do. And then it gets reported. And they didn't even let anyone know they had that second server.
Wow. And then all these companies tell judges, these don't even hook up to the internet.
It's all a lie.
Real time, uncensored, unstoppable. Alex Jones Live.
Can do something about something Trump's totally right about, vindicated. It's not like we just believed Trump last week. You've been like the top dog on this. Venezuela, how it ties into this larger global war, what's coming out of that, and what we can expect next. How much of the fraud have we mitigated? The SAVE Act hasn't passed. We're only a few months away. What is it? It's July, so we got August, September, October, November. So we're like 3.5 months or less out from this. So go wherever you want. There's a lot to unpack here. You got a lot of stuff that Trump released and also things that you have from federal court that back it up that have never been released before. This is some big stuff coming up, so go ahead.
Okay, what I'm going to show you is I will call this the dirty Smartmatic cheating package from Venezuela.
Let's aim that overhead camera at this if we can.
This is like a shell game. I'm going to show you. There's that dirty package was in Smartmatic where it was called.
Hey, let's start over because, hey, guys, I left my cell phone like an idiot. I want to shoot a video of this close up.
It's even more complicated than they are describing because they're not talking about Seidel, Staple Street Capital. They're not talking about Hutan Yagobita. They're not talking about the Connecticut hedge funds.
It'll go viral.
Want to use mine?
I'll use yours, and then we'll post a text. Yeah, let's do this because this is a backup studio. We don't really have stuff at ground level for things like this.
Okay.
But
they're not following the money here, okay? There's a big problem with not following the money here. I'm not criticizing them. If you don't pepper this out, you're not going to get it, okay? Most people cannot understand 10% of this. 10%. If you look at the Tyler Technology IP address, they haven't discussed it. Why? It's right in your face. It's right in your face.
Okay, so let's start over.
You got me?
Start over.
I'm going to show a...
Wait a second. We're live on there, but I'm doing it.
Okay.
Again, Patrick Byrne is here, the expert on election fraud, totally vindicated, and he's about to explain how the shell game works for everybody. We're live on air, but I'm also shooting this so I can upload it to X. Go ahead.
There's a dirty Venezuelan software package that lets you steal elections. It was in Smartmatic, where it was called SAES, Smartmatic Automated Election System. They bought an American company called Sequoia, and they put it inside Sequoia, where it was called WINEDS. That's the only name you have to memorize, WINEDS. That dirty package got shifted, and it's actually inside Dominion. They call their system Democracy Suite, but it's inside Dominion. They've been denying like hell that they have WINEDS. They're saying we don't use it. It's not inside our system. I'm going to prove to you that it is in their system. And then the problem is what's happened now is Liberty has come along, and actually Liberty is just a new name on Dominion. It's the same corporation.
And talk about a cynical name. We're no longer Dominion. We're now Liberty. And then they dropped their lawsuit against Lindell.
So that dirty package is still inside. I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove that to you with some exhibits today. Some of these I'm under order from a federal judge, not to show, but the federal judge turns out to have been Venezuela's lawyer to 2022. So I'm now just ignoring her. So that was the order. Can we switch to the documents?
Yes, sir, we'll do it.
Who's the Venezuela judge?
The first one is Trump released this last Thursday night. The summary of the CIA documents, summary of their own intelligence reporting 04 to 20. We'll go to document 2 now. Document 2, the summary of that document, they talk about how they have had persistent concerns that Venezuela was developing systems to cheat elections. Well, they did, in fact, develop that software, and it was the WINEDS that I just walked you through. They did, in fact, develop that. Now, the government's still being a little bit guarded about how much they're releasing, but they are acknowledging that, yes, Venezuela developed this, and they've been stealing or trying to steal their own elections with it. Next, let's go to an internal Dominion email, which I'm not supposed to show anyone. This is from 2011. They're talking to a guy named Craig Short, contractor for Dominion, is talking to Sherry Hadsky. You're going to see in a moment. She's the Secretary of State of Louisiana at the time. And this is all about the WINEDS upgrade. Now, remember, you're going to see Dominions come out and say, we don't have WINEDS. No, we never, that's all some junk from the past. But meanwhile, their internal emails, they're talking about upgrading their system. Go to the next page. This is, again, this is more Dominion voting, people talking to Sherry Hadsky. You can see in the bottom of this, Sherry Hadsky is the Secretary of State of Louisiana, .government. She's in that office. She says, hey, confidentially, if Democracy Suites runs on if this runs on Windows 7 and this WINEDS runs on Windows 2003, don't we need 2 servers? So she knew, and Dominion knew, that same thing, that they were in fact still using WINEDS. And the guy confirms, yes, that we're going to need 2 servers. Now we get to the really good stuff. We get to 2020. Let's go to the next page. This is an email from Eric Coomer in 2020. He's running the elections in Chicago. And noticing he's writing a guy, Goran Obradovic, who's in Serbia. And
this is the key to Connecticut. Goran Obradovic. He's a defendant in our case. Now, we sent them a subpoena. Of course, no answer. And then they murdered the judge.
He says, this paragraph, when you read it, you're going to laugh. They're talking about setting up servers to process ballots as they come in. So there's a few days before the election. He says, 30 minutes, 12,000 ballots. We may have some timing problems. Not sure there's anything we can do other than our best. Look at this. We can set up the cartridges to load overnight as they come in scare quotes, and then
I mean, he's like, oh, come in, yeah.
and then load into Win.
He's even laughing like, oh, as they come in. Oh, yeah.
Why is he doing that? Explain. Why is he putting?
Sorry, they're being repetitive, and I need to keep this video in my possession, so I got to play the whole thing.
Oh, let's love to brag.
Yeah, but why? as they come in. In other words, they're faking like as the ballot.
We can load it and have it ready as they come in.
As they come in, meaning we're going to be uploading them, but pretending that these are ballots coming in from the field. But actually, and we can then load them into the WINEDS. So here's Eric Coomer, the CTO of Dominion, acknowledging that WINEDS is being used in their system. He swore up, down, and sideways since then, as is Dominion. Dominion does not use WINEDS.
Well, I mean, they defaulted in another case with Smartmatic. Lindell saying that.
Keep in mind, this is the Stanford Superior Court case, different from the Hartford Federal case. Do you see Eric Coomer here? No. The judge had that removed from the documents. This is evidence tampering by who? Judge Yamini Memon. 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 Do you know who this person is? This is the only judge I don't know in the Stanford Superior Court. But let me tell you, Yamini Memon. Yamini Memon. Yamini Memon. Yamini Memon. Okay, so motion 151 down to 163.01. Denied, 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 denied. This is treason. This is sedition. This is serious. And until these guys.
The judge said, I don't need to see evidence. These machines don't connect to the internet when they're damn internet computers.
And he's saying
it's like a dolphin doesn't swim in the ocean.
And he's saying our good Dominion machine.
Sorry.
Don't have any of that WINEDS package in them. But here you go.
Let's move forward.
Under contract as a senior product specialist to Liberty Vote.
Yeah, so they're rebranded. Don't worry, Republicans own it now. Everything's fine.
And the last two things, which I've shown you once before, but here's another Dominion voting guy, again, writing to Coomer, talking about we're establishing VPN connection into the virtual machines today to reach the county's electronic voting machines. And on the next page, our tablet arrives in Shanghai Customs. We're waiting for clearance. So the tablets you're voting on are actually going through Shanghai Customs where China gets to edit them. And then lastly, you get to, this is all under what's Liberty Vote, right? With the new, they're going to try to sell the public, you can use these Liberty voting machines. It's all this junk. It's a combination of Chinese-made equipment.
It's a shell game.
Chinese-made equipment with Serbian software guys that we saw written in those emails, with Venezuelans who are all in our system, the Venezuelans here in the U.S. who are now working for Liberty Vote. I showed you there was one guy, you trace these Venezuelans back to the same university through Smartmatic and Sequoia, and now they're in different places running our elections in the United States. So it sounds confusing, but it's like a
multinational corporate intelligence conglomerate.
Chinese, Iranian, Venezuelan, they're all in on it. It's one constellation of bad actors.
And it's the Democrats and the CIA, as you pointed out, contract people that hate us to do it, so they have plausible deniability.
You got it. So there's nothing safer about this Liberty stuff. It's Serbian software on Chinese hardware being operated by Venezuelans.
And it's a big deal that this judge told you not to do it, and you're doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, but the judge told me not to release these.
Chinese hardware.
She, in fact, put my lawyer in prison for giving these to law enforcement 3 years ago. Our answer is, this is national security.
Public interest.
And we give you a month. We gave her a month. She wouldn't, or it's been 3 years. She still has not given us permission to release anything. And we found out a month or two ago, she was actually Venezuela's lawyer. And then Biden took her out and made her the magistrate judge.
Total conflict of interest.
So she's looking down the barrel of she's looking down the barrel of a criminal indictment. A criminal referral has been made about her. This judge is.
All right, we're going to keep going to a live show, but I'm shooting this just for X. So I want to be able to get some up close shots here in our backup studio.
Okay.
How people find Patrick Byrne online?
X is the best place to go. Just go to X, find me on X. I also have a occasional thing I use on locals, but just find Patrick.
Patrick, who's the judge?
Byrne at X.
All right, well, amazing. Let's talk more about it. And people can find me at Real Alex Jones on X and rumble.com/Alex Jones Show Live and AlexJonesLive.com. We will upload that.
I'll send it to you.
You can airdrop it to us, and then we'll get that up separate from the live show. But that's good. You weren't exactly. You just have to go zoom right in on your deal at that level, so we can do it. We can shoot down, but not And some people have little cameras right here, little robot goes. I'm Parallel Pro Dart.
The results are coming in, but actually we just upload from the. It gets really even funnier. They set up next to it a second machine that then gets reported into the election reporting system. So before the results go from the county to the legitimate election reporting system, they're run through this WINEDS, dirty Venezuelan software, where that there's a server before the results go from the server that runs the election to this.
They're using 4 servers.
County server that reports the election. It's going through another server that nobody knows about and only he has access to. So the results go in, and we just have to trust them not to do anything they want to do, and then it gets reported. And they didn't even let anyone know they had that second server.
Wow. And then all these companies tell judges, these don't even hook up to the internet.
It's all a lie. It's his lies have so gotten caught. In his depositions, he's lied and gotten caught so many times. I'm shocked he isn't under arrest yet. He's meeting me next week. I can't say we have to meet next week for some place for a. What do you?
If you get him to turn to state's evidence, that would be the ultimate victory.
He should.
Now let me say the weird angle. I'm not saying Trump's doing this, but it's pure speculation. Let's just say the potential's there. If Trump runs Venezuela now with Rubio, he could flip them under his control and make them run elections for him.
I hate to tell you, I think that one of the things that Trump is hoping for, I think that one of the things the CIA is pushing is keep these liberty machines in place, and we'll let you and your sons end up owning it with this. They have their own hedge fund now called 1776. You'll end up owning liberty. I wonder if the Democrats will accept that if the Trump family owns
they're
liberty.
suddenly going to say it's fraud.
Exactly. But I think what's going on is the Trump family is trying to get his hands on liberty, and they think some people that the CIA is trying to pitch them using that as an incentive.
Was that information out yet?
No, call it an informed guess.
Yeah, but you're on the right track then.
Yeah, you're on the right track. You have good instincts.
Well, the Democrats are suddenly going to be against this now.
Well, that'll solve all our problem. If the Trump family's hedge fund ends up owning Liberty, I guess that'll solve our problem. We'll all be in agreement that we got to get rid of the machines then.
Yeah, because it'll all be nothing but Lindsey Graham's.
Yeah.
But no one will limit Lindsey Graham's.
Yeah. You don't even people, the Democrats have realized is they might get schlonkered. They're just infiltrating the Republican Party now. There's all kinds of people running for Republicans in positions as states now that are just Democrats. Well, they're rhinos, but even worse, they're actually Democrats that are Well,
listen, I'm impressed you came to town just talk to little old me. And I love the crew. Nobody's bad. I'm not mad. But did anybody talk about getting you on Harrison's show while you're here? Oh, Rex, my son, is here.
I'd be happy to.
Rex. And, well, let's find out exactly. Wheels within wheels, plans within plans.
Heart surgery, and the doctor can't believe.
They gave it to rats. They lived twice. Electricity shooting 3 and stuff. It's wild. And we're not. And this is a strong submarine in there. And we've got what's going on right now. I've been doing this lately with new guests that come in. But what I love it, and it's the same thing, but it wasn't cares about it. Closing.
100 people, and they say 50 in mail-in ballots because it's a non-starter. And as bad as sometimes we get irritated, I get irritated with Trump without Trump.
Listen to a Shark Tank, and I'm like,
yeah, you would think. Over islands.
Guys,
you have great graphics.
At last, it's here. Bring it into the docking bay. my chambers at once. I now have all the AquaPure Ultimate Water Filter shower heads from the Alex Jones store.
Hey, do you want to hang out tonight? These stormtroopers are not warriors. They are vessels. We keep them full of chemicals to keep them under control.
Force.
Dude, I think I'm gay. Me too. Let's go back to the ship and cuddle. I thought you'd never ask.
Turn around now and get back out there. These are your orders.
They're turning the frogs gay. Don't let them turn you next. Ha!
It just diminishes the value of the content that they're putting out. It's ridiculous, okay? So keep a sense of humor, because Chris Murphy is running for president, and the biggest Marxist communist next to Pete Buttigieg is endorsing him, Ned Lamont. Corliss Lamont. Have a great day, folks. We have to keep that one and send it to the court. Thanks. It's just confirmation of what we put out 4 years ago.